I'm Marilyn Henrion. I'm an artist who does work in fiber. I was born in New York City and have lived here all my life. I travel, and my inspiration comes both from my New York urban environment and from my travels to cities in other parts of the world. And architecture and man-made structures interest me more than anything because they are what artists leave behind when they're no longer here. It's something of themselves that they're leaving behind. And I like to document that. And I like to be in the presence of that. And I like to highlight even the most mundane images, like a doorstep or a subway entrance, as well as iconic buildings like the Woolworth Building or Brad's Tomb, but also the very plain things that you would pass by in the street and never notice and never think of as art. There's beauty in all of that to me. And I really deeply love my city of New York. And when I go elsewhere, I'm always wanting to be in an urban environment. I work in fiber and I hand quilt my works, and working with the hand is very important to me, as it's a statement of the imperfection of the human hand that machines can never capture. My grandfather, who immigrated as a 12-year-old, I think he ran away from home in Eastern Europe and came to the United States, became a tailor. He taught my mother to sew, and my mother sewed everything. She sewed all our clothes. She taught me to sew. But the interesting thing about that is that my mother had to leave school at the 8th grade to work in a garment factory to help support the family. She came from a large family on the Lower East Side, and so she was working, at a very young age in a garment factory doing piecework. Now, piecework was paid by time, so for her, speed was very important. So when she taught me to sew, she didn't understand how slow, slow is not good. Fast was always the object. And I hated to sew when I was a kid because of that. Because I am not a fast person. I am a slow, meditative person. And so I never liked to sew until I started doing my own work. And then I realized the meditative quality of sewing, of handwork like that. And that's part of the joy of creating these things, is the actual making of them and the slowness of like just being suspended in time. So sewing I learned from her, but it was not the kind of sewing that I wanted to learn. It starts with my camera. When I'm walking around, I take pictures, right? I come home, I look at the pictures in the computer. Some of them have possibilities, some of them don't. I have to choose from among the pictures that I have which ones I'm going to work with. And then I start manipulating the image once I start. And even there, at some point during the manipulation, I may give up and say this doesn't have the potential I thought it had. So those are rejected. So then what do I manipulate? How do I manipulate? Do I want to change the colors? Do I want to change the scale? Do I want to change the perspective? All of those decisions go into that part of creating the image. And then the next thing is printing the image. I have these images printed on fabric, and I would say out of about every 10 images that I have printed, I will reject maybe 7. The work that will go into it is not, it's not worth doing unless I'm really, think that image has the potential that it needs to. When I see them scale and I see the printing, the colors, everything, sometimes it just doesn't work. And sometimes it does. There's a lot of points in the process that take time. Then, of course, once I decide this I'm going to make into a work, then comes the basting. I would say takes maybe an hour or two. And then the quilting part, I would say probably for a piece that's maybe 18 by 24, like 2 weeks of full-time work. Full-time, and I really mean full-time. I'm in my studio non-stop all day. It's sometimes till 3 in the morning. However, I'm at age 89 still very, very productive. And it seems to accelerate the older I get. I'm addicted, so so that's danger.